Because I don't go by Dan typically. I'm fine with it.
Uh-huh.
But Daniel's me.
So funnily enough, I think it was right around the time I met Katie is when I started going by Dan. Everything before that was Daniel, or some other nickname. I've had a couple of nicknames.
Neil.
Neil, yeah. Call me Neil.
Yep.
Hey, Neil. It's so obnoxious. Hey, Neil.
It's like the name Topher being Christopher. It took me years.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't believe that to be real. I think if you go by Topher, you're making it up. It's not real.
Topher Grace, you fucking liar! Come on the show and defend yourself.
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
Fast? Let's find out.
We're calling you out. Yeah, imagine Topher Grace making an appearance in the similar way that he did in Spider-Man in the Fast series. Oh baby.
That's gonna be the cameo. He's gonna come dancing in his blacks. No, that was
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, it was Tobey Maguire. Fuck it, never mind.
He's still well. I mean, now that you bring that up, Tobey Maguire did that part weirder than Topher Grace. So there's that thing.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to get into this?
Let's get fast.
And Furiosa?
Furiosa. Damn it. I'm gonna blame the delay on that. Welcome to the Mad Max Fury Roadcast. We're talking about that guy who sprays himself in the mouth.
With silver spray paint.
Whatever that's about. And the guy with the guitar and people with the swing sticks.
That was you, right?
That was me. No one knows that.
It was you. He's like 7 feet tall. I think he's bald. I think or he has a mohawk. I don't know, one of the two. And he's just chained onto the top of a car playing the guitar, wailing off.
The dream, really.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
He doesn't have to worry about gas money, just plays guitar all day.
He was the original jizz wailer.
Yes, and?
You know what the jizz whalers are?
No.
So it's not what you think. The jazz in the Star Wars universe by Max Rebo, is called Jizz. And Max Rebo and the Jizz Whalers are very much a band.
So I did not know the Jizz Whalers were the name of the band. I knew it was called Jizz, and I knew Max Rebo.
I love me a good jizz whaler. Welcome to the 60-second car podcast.
Wait, no, shut up for a second. Jizz whaler. One more jizz whaler. Moby Dick, it's right there. Go ahead, go.
The podcast that can't stop talking about jizz whalers. My name is Dan, also known as Danotage on the internet. I am absolutely honored to be a co-host to the one and only Daniel, aka Overcord on the internet. Hi, Daniel.
Hello, look for me in your local jizz whaler band. I'll be playing the.
What's the Star Wars version of a bass? Like the Jace? It's it's a bass, but like the blow-in piano, you have to blow into it instead of actually slapping it or flicking the strings.
Hold on. This is very important. The what? As opposed to the what?
As opposed to the
One of these?
Yeah,
a
one of
melodica?
those. A melodica. Yeah. You're the gelodica to my Jomnicord. To my Jomnicord.
Sure. All right, we got there.
And play a Jomnicord and do the whole sliding up and down and pushing the buttons. Welcome to minute 6. Are we in minute 6 or minute 5? Minute 6,
We're in
right?
minute 6. 5:00 to 5:59.
That's gonna get me every time. That's like calling, like naming centuries, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and I am the worst at it. Oh, it's the 15th century. Oh, it's 1500. No, it's not. And then right now, in this moment in time, I can't remember if it goes backwards or forwards. It goes backwards, right? 15th century is 1400s?
Yes.
Ah, okay. We got it right. I had a 50-50 shot, but I got it.
We're in the 21st century, like Duck Dodgers.
Right. We're in the 21st century of the 2000s. Got it.
We got there.
This this movie is barely in the 21st century. First century.
True.
It is the first. It's not the first year. It's actually the second year. That's also confusing. It's the second year of the 21st century, which means it was in 2001. We're all, oh my God. What
are you okay?
No, I'm not. I'm going crazy here. 2001.
You seem like fucking Charlie Day in the Pepe Sylvia scene.
Pepe Sylvia. I don't even know if Pepe Sylvia even exists. Look, he's got mail. He's got things all over the place. I don't even know what Pepe Sylvia is in here. I feel like,
of course, he exists. He's upstairs, and everyone's wondering where their mail is.
I feel like Charlie Day on a pretty regular basis, actually. Just because I feel like Charlie Day specifically in Always Sunny. I feel like the people who make fun of me on the internet are also some of the dumbest people on the internet. Just like Charlie in his world. He's being made fun of by also other really dumb and obnoxious people.
My lovely wife has called me a literate Charlie Day. Charlie Kelly, which...
Charlie Kelly, yeah. Oh, that's right. That's his name, Charlie Kelly.
Yes, which I can't decide if that's a compliment or an insult, because she also finds Charlie Day very cute. So, and I look nothing like that man. It's
probably a compliment with a little of bantering... insult, you know,
like we do.
Yeah, of course. I feel like a literate Charlie Day or Charlie Kelly is saying something though, because technically all you have to be able to do is semi-read, because that man cannot read at all. In fact, one of my favorite bits in that show is when it's not Mac, who's the other guy? Dennis is trying to read the script that Charlie wrote for him while recording the campaign.
So do.
Vote me? You like. Oh, man. Okay, new podcast idea. We go through every minute of every episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'll start. Let's start with the Dream Journal episode.
We're not even starting at the beginning?
No, we're going to skip around as if we were Charlie Kelly and we didn't know where to start.
So it's like we're just doing random minutes in order, and you get to slice them together yourself later, or it's some Pulp Fiction shit.
We also, honestly, probably also just get to make up stuff and put it in the episode, because I'd be curious to see a whole new remake of that show from Charlie's perspective, because I guarantee it'd be a whole different show.
Mm-hmm. Charlie life.
Charlie in the chocolate factory. Oh, it's Charlie in the chocolate factory, but they go through all the same plot points and timelines that they do in It's Always Sunny.
Right.
I can't.
For as great as It's Always Sunny is, we're here to talk about the Fast and the Furious minute 6. Minute 5.
Minute 6.
We just did this, and I'm already having a hard time.
Minute
which,
6,
of course,
starting at 5:00.
Frank Webster and Connie continuing to elude police. The couple slips into a cross-border sports car race. So there's even car races in this film, which Frank plans to use his advantage to escape into Mexico. That, of course, is the plot of the 1954 The Fast and the Furious.
That's also...
You seem confused.
That's also the end of this movie.
Weird.
Interesting. So maybe somebody actually did rip somebody else off.
Well, in that movie's description, like I said, there's a legacy tab where it references this movie, and they were going to call it some other stuff, but I guess they just stuck with that. Or should this part... So legacy, all right. Mm-hmm. It's all from Wikipedia, so cite your sources or whatever. Click the 21, you'll get all the deets. Decades later, producer blah 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 and Universal licensed the title for this movie that we're actually supposed to be talking about, because he had a difficult time choosing between proposed titles, which were Racer X, Redline, Race Wars. Oh God!
Imagine the movie called Race Wars. It's already bad enough that it was a part of the movie.
Race Wars, Tokyo Drift.
Oh my God. I learned something that I don't know if I want to talk about in the podcast, but there's a whole alt-right racial tendency behind being a normal American normal American white man and being into Japanese culture. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway,
yeah. So this, I guess, at least in name and apparently in some things, dipped into the 1954 film, The Fast and Furious. But fuck that movie, I guess, because the lead female character doesn't have a last name.
No,
Connie.
Just Connie.
Yeah, so
I
now
feel
I'm wondering
like
if that's true.
I feel like
Connie Adair.
Adele.
Adar. Yeah, it's Adele. She's rolling in the deep.
I feel like this podcast may turn into a conspiracy theory podcast about Hollywood and movies, just taking from 1950s movies, which would be a whole different type of podcast. The podcast that we are here to talk about, as I think you and I have both tried to lead into this about 4 times already for this episode alone. We could talk about the very first frame, which is exactly if you're watching the live stream, which is live streamed here on twitch.tv/Danotage, or you're watching the recorded video version, which is on youtube.com/Danotage, you may or may not have noticed a slight wardrobe change from Daniel.
This whole thing?
And that might have to do with our very first frame.
Hell yeah. Bald, no sleeves and sweaty. That's us. We're same.
We are same. Yoked out of your mind. Absolutely fit. Mm-hmm. Just thumbs up.
At this time in the franchise, no upper body definition at all.
Yeah,
I'm a runner. I don't do anything up top.
He's big, but he's not ripped yet. He's not shredded like he is in later movies. That is true. Because, so, do you know the timeline of when Pitch Black came out?
I don't have the year. I usually have the years on these things. But I know it was before this.
So I imagine it was pretty close before this, and I think he was semi-thinner in that movie too. I do believe he was still sleeveless, by the way. He just had his goggles.
This is 2001. Pitch Black was 2000.
So right before this.
He just had his goggles.
He just had his goggles in his cut-off t-shirt, yeah.
I've never seen a Pitch Black or a Chronicles of Riddick. How are those? Are those any good?
Okay, so the Chronicles of Riddick movies are very polarizing. Some people love them, some people hate them. But I think everybody loves Pitch Black, where Vin Diesel's character, I forget his name, somebody will remind me, is a side character. He's not the main character by any means. But
you mean Riddick?
Yes, Riddick. Yeah, that of course that's his name. What? Excuse me? What? Am I okay? Duh, that's his name. Riddick is very much just this side character who is in most of the movie. He's definitely a supporting character, but he's not the main character, and he's like if John Wick wasn't the main character of his movie, but that doesn't make any sense either. He's ripe for a spin-off, which is exactly what happens for 3 other movies, I think. I think they do 3 Riddicks. And yeah, he's just this guy on this desert planet with aliens who I think only come out at night, I believe it is, which is what makes his character special, because I do believe that he has bleached eyes or something. Something's wrong with his eyes, that's why he has the goggles. So he has night vision. So he wears the goggles only during the day because, like the aliens or like the bugs, he is blinded by the sun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Should I watch?
Honestly,
should I watch these?
Pitch Black is pretty good.
All right.
I don't know if you're into the whole sphere type of. Honestly, the bug aliens are sort of akin to Starship Troopers bugs. I think they're slightly smaller. They're basically allergic to light, and but if you get up close and you put your nose to their nose, they can't see you because of how far away their eyes are from each other. That's a plot point. That is a point of that is a part of the movie.
So that'll be our 5th spin-off, The Chronicles of Reddit Minute by Minute.
The Chronicles of Minute.
Yep.
The Chronicles
We did it.
of Minute.
Fuck this show. We're doing
done.
Chronicles of Minute.
We're doing a whole new show right now. We're pivoting hard. The Chronicles of Minute. It's still going to take a bunch of episodes because, like I said, that's 4 movies. And then there's a video game. I think there might even be 2 video games. Where you play as Riddick.
So if our theoretical spin-off, The Chronicles of Minute, dips into video games, is this one we're actually doing going to dip into the cartoon show that's on Netflix of the Fast Saga? Or any other stuff?
How
I don't
long
know how
is
many
that?
episodes are. No idea. I've never watched a second of it. Have you?
No, I don't even remember. I remember maybe seeing a like a box art thing of it, but I don't think I've seen a single frame of it. Cool. So here's the thing. I think it's perfect for a cartoon because this whole series plays like an anime. So I feel like it probably works and probably works really well. It's kind of if you took like Initial D and made it more American and then live actioned and you get the Fast and the Furious.
My initial's D.
My
Daniel.
initial is D. Yeah. DC.
Yeah.
District
That's
of Columbia.
I used to tell people Washington, D.C. was named after me because I was born in Washington.
Wait.
Little did I know Washington, D.C. was a different place.
Okay, I was going to say, were you born in the actual Washington?
Yeah, I was born in Tacoma, and when I was in elementary school, I used to tell people Washington, D.C. is named after me.
Right.
Not realizing, A, it's not, and 2, that it's across the country from where I was actually born.
No, it makes sense. You were born in Washington, and they're like, okay, we're starting this new town, even though it was named first. We're starting this new place where the president's going to live and where all the government officials are going to live. We need a new name for it. Oh, that Overcord guy, the Daniel guy, he seems pretty cool. What if and he's from Washington. What if we just name this Washington, D.C.?
See, you get it. You've read the book. This see how it goes down.
I've seen this movie, yeah, a few times.
Speaking of movies, so this frame, this bald man, this beautiful bald man who becomes our hero. This is, of course, Mark Sinclair.
Yep.
He is, at the time of this recording, 34 years old. This is his 8th role, and for some reason he goes by Vin Diesel, because why the hell wouldn't you? If you think of that as your name, you go by that. Mm-hmm. I wish I could think of a better name than Daniel Cordova, but Vin Diesel's where it's at.
I couldn't tell you how many times, or how long I should say, I thought, and other people I knew thought his name was like Vincent or Vincenzo.
I don't know. I mean, what if he had a fake name? This was also a nickname for his fake name. So it'd be like Vincent Vincenzo Diesel or something, but that's still a nickname on top. Anyway, this is, like I said, this is 8th role overall. Other notable appearances we have Saving Private Ryan in 98, Iron Giant in 99, Pitch Black, which we've already talked a lot about, which now I really want to watch just so I can learn to put my face up next to a bug. And his 1995, not debut, but the short film, he was a writer, director, and producer, multifacial, because he is racially ambiguous, and he leaned into it, which somehow launched all of this.
Yeah, this became whatever, because they never mention his family culture or race in these movies at all. Not that it's that important, but
it doesn't matter. He seems to be fluent in Spanish, which is neat. That could have just been high school Spanish with people who actually stick to it and do well, unlike me. Just keep with the language.
He probably speaks Portuguese too.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I'm on day 91 in Duolingo. How many days he on? Don't know. He's probably he probably invented Duolingo, to be honest.
He probably
it's something else though. So like what is he even doing in this scene? It seems like he's sitting, in the last episode we discussed a little bit that he's sitting in what seems to be a chicken coop, just sitting there. I don't know if he's also doing the books like Mia was doing.
I think he's eating, right?
Is he? Because he grabs a soda or something out of the fridge and then just goes and sits down, and that's our introduction. Well, we don't hear his name, but that's the first time we see this man.
I think he's eating. I think he's probably eating. Maybe that's why he finds interest in Brian O'Connor as he goes up to take a look at him for getting a soda, because maybe he's also eating a tuna sandwich with no crust.
That's his eating cage.
I do notice that he has an unopened, still sealed bottle of hot sauce next to him, which is partially why I feel that way.
You on the hot sauce count again, I see.
This dude, this guy's got the store is full of hot sauce. I would absolutely love to be like, yo, let me try this. I've never heard of this. This is probably poison, but I'll try this too. This is made from battery acid. Ooh, tasty. I'm in.
I mean, at that level of like a mini mart, like it's probably been there for years past when it expires. It's shit you've never heard of, but it's probably pretty good.
I also noticed, I know he's eating because there is maybe that's a statue of a giant fork on the left-hand side of the screen.
I feel like we're running into the darkness issue with this, like we were doing in the first few minutes. I don't see a fork, but I trust you.
You know what? I know why you don't see a fork. There we go.
You did something.
I extended it because it wasn't showing the whole frame.
Oh, yes, there it is. Oh.
Yes. That looks like a fork. And
yeah, it does.
If it is or it isn't, I feel like he's just eating there. I wonder if he actually drove here to meet his crew, his team, to have lunch, and then they're going to go to the garage. Presumably, like we talked about in the previous episode, this is at the end of Brian's shift, so it's an evening. I don't. This is like one of the only times we see them eating not at home. It's literally the only time we see the store, and he's just in the back chilling while Mia's doing quite literally everything else.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if he's on lunch. I don't feel like he deserved, or like he's probably worked a full shift to warrant one or something, but maybe he has. There's a lot of things that we don't know. Maybe she's covering his lunch. Maybe he does everything else, really. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah. I noticed
he's in the eating cage.
He's in the eating cage, which seems to open from several ways. Or that refrigerator, which is in, I think, the next frame. Yeah. I don't know if that's in the cage or if that's attached to the cage or what, but he opens. I noticed that I got this picture on like a very weird and kind of like he turned around, saw Brian for the first time visually, and is very disappointed in what he sees.
So I then have to go back to questioning the layout of the store, because are these drinks for sale? Do you have to go into the eating cage to grab out a single can of whatever the hell he's drinking to then pay for? Because that seems like that's poor planning.
I think.
Layout.
Oh, you know what? We do see kind of this part. I think it's just open when Letty eventually asks Dom if he wants something to drink, and then he goes. He's like, as if he's already got one. Still has no line yet, so has not said a single word at this point.
Actually, I did realize when I was prepping for other minutes that we don't have any names yet. So we are throwing out all these names, but like, if for some strange reason people are watching this for the first time with us, minute by minute, which is psychotic, but do it.
Hey, more power to you.
Yeah, that's great for us. But yeah, we don't have any names yet. So he's doing this like very smirk, and not even smirk, but just like frown.
It's I'm not mad, I'm disappointed look.
Because maybe he knows that she's flirting back by making the sandwich for the 21st day in a row. As you know, Brian's going to town on the sandwich, and he's bummed.
Yeah, he's like, that was my tuna. That was my sandwich. I was gonna have another one, but you just took the last one.
I now have the worst tuna because you have the bad tuna.
So I want to point out that you researching their ages at this point makes a lot more sense now, by the way, because as we find out later that there is another Toretto, their age difference is pretty far. So she's 21, he's 36.
I've got 34.
34. So, 13 years, that's quite a bit. Wait, is that 13 years? Yes.
Yes,
that's 13 years. That's quite a bit. And then we also, at this point in time, we don't know, but later, obviously, there was one in the middle. Because of how this universe works, I'm genuinely curious, although I do believe they have different writers later. Was any of this planned? Was any of the future movies planned at all? Or at least a story of like, here, I have ideas of how we can expand the universe.
Yeah, like, are they doing some Futurama shit where Nibbler was always under the table with John Cena's character or some other brother. But honestly, I fucking doubt it.
No,
It really feels like a lot of this series, they're just pulling out of their ass. People die, and then they undie, and it's barely explained.
This was a movie
like,
about cars, drag racing, a quarter mile, 10 seconds at a time, and race wars. I do very much doubt that they planned on even a sequel. Even so, I mean, we know they kind of didn't, because they didn't sign Vin Diesel for the second movie. He wasn't like automatically signed up for that.
Which is wild, and I would love to dig. I want to dig deeper into like why that is, because it's, for as big as Dom Toretto is in this franchise, there's 2 movies he's not. Well,
yeah,
let's say
we could say he's not in 2 of those movies for sure.
1.98 movies that he's not in, because 3 he pops in.
Is he in? How much is he in 4?
He's in 4.
But how much? Like, it's not a ton, is it? Because isn't it mostly about Brian and Letty? I don't remember 4 very well. That's the one I think I have the least amount of knowledge about.
Is 4 the one where Letty dies?
Yes.
Then he's got to be in it a lot, because
Okay.
that's his whole deal.
Yeah, but like the way they talk about it later, with like Brian saying it's his fault and stuff like that, it makes me like like probably remember it incorrectly, but it makes me remember it as if like it was a whole Brian thing, and then he brought Letty in as this another undercover agent to try to, you know, get intel on the cartel or whatever it was, and for some reason Dom isn't there for any of it. But I may totally be misremembering that, and it sounds like I am.
I don't know. I'm trying to skim it to get ahead, and it's not working. So we'll find out in 3 years.
But that is his official return, is in 4.
Yes.
And then we are met with the gang, or the team, rolling up. And I think this image that I have pulled up currently is the ultimate kind of, the characters are doing or the actors are doing a fantastic job of showing what this means. Brian's a little bit concerned. He has no idea. He just hears a bunch of cars rolling up behind him. And Mia's like, yep, this is about to happen, isn't it?
Here we go.
It's about to get fast and furious.
Roll up, yeah. I wonder if there's any significance to the colors of the car, like, because you know, in like Breaking Bad, the car colors and like wardrobes and shit had so much importance. I wish, I would love to find out they did in this franchise, but also I doubt it, because we've got a white car, a red car, a yellow car, and a blue one.
I can't imagine that there is a whole lot of cohesion between the thoughts of what's his name, Gillen, the writer of Breaking Bad, and the writer of the original Fast and the Furious. I highly doubt that they have similar thoughts on script writing. But it is pretty cool for them all to have very different, seemingly primary and so red, yellow, blue. Are those all primary colors? They are, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then,
pretty sure.
And then they're like, well, we can't put a secondary color in, so the third one or the fourth one will be white.
Yes.
So yes, we have all these cars, all different cars, I believe.
No one wanted a carpool, because fuck the earth.
That doesn't happen. No, I mean this is 2001. We were just hearing about global warming, right? Isn't that around the time when the Inconvenient Truth or whatever came out? Yeah.
Al Gore had lost. This came out in June, so he was up on his like, oh man, we're all gonna die and burn ourselves to death.
And it's all because of this Fast and the Furious movie.
I haven't seen Inconvenient Truth. I bet it's in there. I'm just gonna say it.
I think they showed it to us in school, and it is it is an Inconvenient Truth. It's a bummer watch, but it's also Al Gore, who is very boring doing the movie. I'm like, you could have had somebody more entertaining.
What was this class or something where you watched this film?
Honestly, probably like earth science or biology or something. It might have even been an English class, to be honest. Just because
heck I have too.
I don't just like, so, you know, teachers just like showing stuff to their students. I get it. But like I think a lot of teachers are pretty bad at explaining the context behind it all. Also,
I watched Samurai Jack in an English class, which is very funny.
I feel like I've seen Samurai Jack in school before. Feels like an interesting school cartoon. I've seen lots of things. I'm pretty sure in college.
Brag.
What's that?
I said, "Oh, brag! You've seen a lot of things."
I've seen some things. And no, it's more like that was more like a like an old war veteran. I'm seeing some things. But yeah, there's a lot of things that they show in school that I do feel like there's two ends of this. One, kids are dumb, right? They're not going to fill in a lot of the blanks. And two, sometimes teachers need a break and they don't have time to explain all the nuances and context around why they showed that film.
Right. I bet there was some reason somewhere about why I watched the first Pirates movie in that same English class. But also this teacher wound up getting fired because he was bad at his job later. And yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I've seen the first Pirates movie and somehow it's English. Because Treasure Island, but we didn't watch that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Treasure Island was one too. First Pirates movie, got it, like how they sold that movie is like, oh, it's named after a ride. It's about a ride. And how they got that off the ground, how Disney accomplished that, not sure. But we have it.
Look, we're about to have our third Haunted Mansion movie, if you're counting the Muppets thing.
Right.
And this third one that's about to come out, I'm fucking stoked for because our boy Danny DeVito's in it, and I'll follow him in the dark anywhere.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The first one was Eddie Murphy?
Sure was.
I do remember that. I've seen that. I don't remember if I've seen the second one, though.
The Muppet one's pretty good. If you're a Muppet fan, it's on par with Muppet things.
I mean, Muppets are great. Oh, no. Speaking of driving and speaking of the trip I just took yesterday with Katie and myself, she pointed something out, and this is a little bit of a maybe if kids are listening, skip a couple minutes. They probably won't know what I'm saying, but don't Google this. And this goes for anybody that doesn't know what it is. Don't Google it, and especially don't Google it at work. She pointed out that there was a like an air freshener hanging from the rearview mirror of Kermit in his puppet form, bending over and showing off the goatsy.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Again, if you don't know what goatsy is, don't look it up at work, that's for sure. And if you do know what it is, it's pretty, I didn't see it, but I assume it was pretty funny. And also weird.
So you going back to classic evil side of the internet things reminds me of a recent-ish awkward exchange I had at work. We had like a holiday lunch where we got to go off site, have lunch with everybody. It was covered by the place where I work, and it was great. We can get drinks, have a good time. So I'm about 2 drinks in. I'm sitting next to my like direct supervisor, and they order a margarita, and they get a mango margarita. And someone else across them also gets a mango margarita, and they're like, "Oh man, it's a mango party." I'm like, "That's better than a lemon. It's better than a lemon party." And they go, "Daniel," and I go, "I am so sorry. It slipped out. I need to excuse myself." And now we're closer than we've ever been because we both knew what I was talking about. No one else did, thank God.
True.
But good stuff.
There's also ain't no party like a Liz Lemon party because a Liz Lemon party is mandatory. That's one of my favorite things. What were we talking about? Where were we? We're talking about the cars and primary colors.
The primary color cars drive up and they pull up, and Brian's confused or excited or something by them, and one of the drivers hops out. We get a slow pan starting at flame boots. We've got camo pants. We have undies sticking out. We have belly shirt. We have Letty Ortiz. I don't know why I had a delay there. I did know her name, but Letty Ortiz pops out. She's looking like it's 100 degrees outside. I don't know what this look is.
So this feels of the times too, because like global warming is starting, but it's not just everybody sweating, I think, like crazy. strangely, and especially we'll see this in the next minute, they are?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's my face when I get out or into my car. It's fucking hot. I'm miserable. But also these people, as you explained to me in an earlier minute when I didn't make the connection, just heisted some shit. So maybe they're also sleepy.
Oh, you know what? I didn't make that connection. That's not what I was saying. I don't know if they just heisted some stuff. I just don't know if they like got done working at the garage or whatever it was. Oh, you're talking about in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, well, I guess that timeline could be like last night, right? That could have been just last night. And maybe that's why they're all getting up late. Maybe this is the beginning of their day.
Yeah. Maybe Brian's having a tuna breakfast or tuna brunch.
Brian's on a normal time. The rest of the crew are just getting up for their day.
So they work night jobs. By jobs that they mean heist. Okay, that still checks out now.
Yeah, I think so. They're on my schedule.
Okay.
I wake up at not to make myself sound weird. But yeah, I mean, so your description is exactly, so for those wondering what we're talking about with like underwear out, it is straight up like you pulled the images out of either Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or Grand Theft Auto 5. You pulled the splash images of that with the underwear straps over Letty's hips, and they're just out. Her pants are probably on normally. They're just like it was a style to just pull them up. I guess I understand that. Whatever. But yeah, we see obviously Letty's all we're gonna see in this minute, by the way. But this is the beginning of our supporting character intros.
Yep.
Letty Ortiz. I love her glasses. Her glasses are cool. She wears these same glasses, I think, throughout most of the movie. And they look like they're like the style of welder's goggles. And I love them.
You love a goggle.
Love a goggle. Yes.
In minute 2.
Maybe it's a Pitch Black reference. Who knows? Maybe she's like, I like Riddick. Maybe in the Fast and the Furious universe, Riddick is played by a different person. Maybe Vin Diesel is a person in their meta universe, and she's just a big fan of that. I do know that they're watching a Bruce Lee movie later in the movie. So they watch movies. We know that. We know they're into it. And yeah, here we go. This is the beginning of how many layers deep into the meta universe could we get for the Fast and the Furious franchise?
I always love to like unravel the reality of films where there are other films in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like today I was listening to, like, as we mentioned on a previous episode, the entire back catalog of Douglas movies is now available from behind a paywall. I listened to the episode he had with John Lithgow. And apparently in an episode of Dexter, which John Lithgow was on, he watches Harry and the Hendersons, which means Harry and the Hendersons exist in the same universe as John Lithgow. And either John Lithgow is secretly some other character in Dexter or looks a lot like the guy John Lithgow who's in Harry and the Hendersons. So
do they show him in the show? Like, do they show the frames where he's in the movie?
Well, he's watching Harry and the Hendersons. So in the Dexter universe of Harry and the Hendersons, maybe there's somebody else who's in that role. It's at the end of Goldmember when Tom Cruise is Austin Powers or John Travolta is. I don't care.
It's Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So maybe it's something like that. But I haven't seen Dexter to go that far into the canon. But I guess I should. There's our 7th spinoff, Dexter Minutes.
I don't want to watch Dexter.
Yeah, I don't either.
I tried.
Dexter's Lab Minutes.
I try. Oh yeah, I'd watch the heck out of that. DD. Yeah, that stuff is always fun to me. But you always like, it's always a good way to where if you show that, and like maybe somebody's like high as hell watching that, that could spin somebody into a mental breakdown. I think it's dangerous. I think it's irresponsible as a filmmaker or a director.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. But yeah, this is kind of the last we see of this minute, right?
Yes, it is.
We're finally out of the intro. Well, not technically. We're still, obviously the next episode is going to be introing more characters, but we're kind of out of the intro parts of the minutes. We are 6 minutes in, which is actually pretty quick. And we're going to start developing some story here pretty soon.
It's true. We get to get more dabbling with these character relationships because right now the last 3 episodes we've done are introducing main character people, and now we get to explore the relationships. And once those are established, we get to explore their activities, and that'll be a lot of fun. Because right now, all we know is Brian likes to drive fast, and he's kind of bad at it. But then why do we care about the other 99 minutes? I forget how long this movie is.
I think we have like probably 2 more recording sessions before we actually find out who Brian really is.
Right. That's true.
Because I think that's another like 5 or 6 minutes after this. So it's gonna be a hot minute, a 60-second car go fast minute times in speed, and I think I'm dying. Am I okay?
I have to ask again. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. Absolutely not okay. But I mean, you know, this is minute 6 of the original Fast and the Furious, that we know is not the original. Thanks to our co-host Daniel. I thought we were going to do that at the end of the episode, but it works at the beginning too.
Did I already did that, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you already did it. But yeah, this is end of minute 6. I would say as far as movies go, like I kind of just said this, but like reiterating, we're in this pretty quick. I think we're in all this intro stuff goes pretty quick.
I'm trying to see how long the minute is, or the movie is, because this is like,
it's like close to 90 minutes, I think.
We've got a cool 106. So yeah, this is efficient.
Yeah. Oh my God, we still have 100 minutes to go for this one movie.
All right, this might be off air. What are we going to do during the credits? Are we just going to roll credits and then just talk about the names we see?
I think we can.
I think at
that point we can sum up the whole episode or the whole movie.
Great. Sure. Okay, cool. We got a plan. Look forward to that, listeners, in 100 episodes.
Honestly, in this, we might see a lot of Easter eggs in those. Like not real, like planted Easter eggs, but Easter eggs that are later used for things like, you know, this guy actually worked on those things which have a connection. Probably something like that.
We can hope.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been minute 6 of the 60-second car, the podcast that covers every single minute of the Fast and the Furious franchise. We are still at the beginning, but we're doing numbers here. We're absolutely working it. This might be the 60-second car might actually be like a 9-second car. We're going fast. We're going super hard. We're going furious. My name has been Danotage. This has been live right here on twitch.tv/Danotage, or my name is Dan. Call me Dan. And you can find the video version over on youtube.com/Danotage. So make sure you're following and subscribing on both of those. And if you would like to listen to this on your favorite podcast app because you're tired of loading video, or maybe you're not at home for a travel episode, you can download this on your favorite podcast app, which they are all getting added to slowly but surely. By the time these are out and you guys are listening to this, they're probably on everything. So with that being said, again, my name is Dan. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Daniel, and I'll see you all next time.
Family!